Hello, everyone. Welcome to Shelf Space with Kino Lorber, where we talk about all things physical media with Kino Lorber's head of acquisitions, Frank Tarzi. Today, we're joined by a very special guest, Oscar winning director and physical media enthusiast, Daniel Roher, who has a new film Tuner out in theaters this month. Daniel and Frank will be answering your audience questions, so thank you to everyone who submitted a question ahead of time. If you would like to submit a question for a future episode, be sure to sign up for our newsletter to get on the email list, and be sure to subscribe to the Kino Lorber YouTube channel. If you have any customer service questions, you can submit those at the link in the video description below. Hello, Daniel. Hello, Frank. So, we normally start each episode by asking how you two know each other, but you are actually the first guest to come to us without any like personal or direct connection to Kino Lorber. What brought you here is purely a shared love of physical media. So, that is a very exciting development for us. So, I know that you have
This is
Tuner coming
huge.
out. It's huge. So, I wanted to start with that. Like Daniel, what is your relationship with physical media and why do you support it?
What is my relationship to physical media? Do you like holding things? Do you like having stuff? Do you like having personal items that you can carry forward through your life and show to your children and they can show to their children? So yeah, do I like physical media? It's like, do you like breathing and existing and like art and life? You know what has a soul? Okay, a vinyl record. You know what doesn't? Streaming something on Spotify. It's a thing. I'm an analog guy. You know, tactility, holding something, when something gets kicked off a streaming platform and all of a sudden I can't watch a movie that I love. Oh, wait, I got it on 4K. We're good. So yeah, you describing me in your intro as a physical media enthusiast is a great honor and compliment. I'm delighted to be with you. So thank you for that.
Oh, awesome. No, we're delighted to have you. Well, tell us about, obviously you have a collection, I'm guessing. Tell us about your collection. Do you have a certain strategy for collecting? What are your top favorites, in your library? Tell us about it.
Okay, well, look, there's like 6 boxes in my mom and dad's basement in Toronto, Canada, which has hundreds and hundreds of DVDs. Um, um, you know, I have. If anyone's seen my new film, my other new film that's in theaters right now, the AI doc, you'll know that I always keep a sketchbook. So physical media is
Mhm.
not just DVDs or movies; it's also books like this, of which I have now 160. And in one of my sketchbooks, there was a handwritten note from my dad when I was 14 years old, and he says he went on. He and my mom left town for a week, and I guess they left me $50 for whatever I would have needed while they were gone. And he said, "This money is for food, not for movies and books." So it's been since I was a kid, and now that I'm a grown up and I can buy whatever I want, I have to really be careful, um, um, or else 600 boxes will be sent to my house, and my wife will be like, "Where are we going to put all this stuff?" I love Blu-rays. I love 4Ks specifically, like 4K Blu-rays. Those are totally future proofed. Um, I was at Dustin Hoffman's house once, and he has an amazing screening room, like one of the most epic screening rooms I've seen in a home. And he gets sent everything. Like Criterion sends him stuff. You guys probably send him stuff. So he has like thousands of Blu-rays and 4Ks all throughout his screening room. And I was just like looking through, and I picked out all of the 4Ks that were like there was a bunch of 4K Criterions that were unwrapped, or sorry, that were still wrapped. They were brand new, and he had a couple duplicates, and so I took the duplicates and I was like, Dustin, this Criterion 4K of Heaven's Gate, Michael Cimino's Heaven's Gate. You think I could borrow it? And I probably took like 10. And he goes, yeah, take a picture of those so like you don't forget to bring them back. And in my
As a
head, I was like,
catalog.
oh, I'm definitely stealing these from Dustin Hoffman, and he is not going to get them back, and he's going to forget. And I was so excited. I was like, he has duplicates. This is a victimless crime. Okay. Dustin Hoffman will not miss these. And then, like, 3 days later, his assistant emails me and is like, oh, yeah, so Dustin just wants to know when he's going to get his like Blu rays back. Um,
It's
um,
like the library calling you like, your books are late. When are you
and
returning
I,
those?
absolutely. So I was like, I'm the guy who's always like when I always like encourage my friends to borrow my Blu-rays, but then like I'm like the little rat who tried to steal Dustin Hoffman's like duplicate 4Ks. Um, um, but my favorites now, God, what are my favorites? I have a Christopher Nolan collection that I really love, a 4K collection that I go back to a lot. There's a bunch of criterions that I really value. But it's really just movies. Like, what movies do I love? And when I think about owning a movie, the criteria is like, oh, is this a movie that I want to grow old with? Is this a movie that I want to show to my son and make sure he can watch it? Um, so I just think of my favorite films, and I think of films that are really important. And there are some movies, granted, that are like you need to be in a cinema for it. Like I'm not going to get through this movie sitting at home. I just know it. But then there are other movies that are like, oh yeah, let's watch that every week. You know, I have a copy of School of Rock on Blu-ray that's like mission critical. I recently got a 4K copy. I think it's 4K copy of The Jungle Book. Um, um, and it's been really special watching that movie over and over and over again with my toddler.
Oh, that's sweet. Well, we put out, if you're a Jack Black fan, put out Tropic Thunder. Frank, you can probably
Oh,
come up with a
amazing.
whole list of like, I'm sure we have a lot of
Yeah,
Dustin Hoffman movies. Like, we could put
we also
together a
put out
list for you and we'll send you stuff.
yeah,
Oh
we
my
Oh my
also
God,
put
goodness.
send
out
me stuff.
Nacho Libre. We put that out
Oh,
too. So yeah, we have a couple
that's
of Jack
right.
Blacks. Tropic
Um,
Thunder
I
has
I
a
would look. I'm just here for the swag, guys. So if you want to send me a little gift basket, that'd be so
yeah. We'll
sick.
take care of that. No problem. We'll send you some stuff.
Thanks,
Um,
Frank. Thank you.
Um,
Tropic Thunder has a great commentary because it's the 3 stars.
Yeah,
And then Robert Downey Jr. is in character, so it's it's pretty great. So
oh, he's in
that's
character in the
amazing.
commentary.
yeah,
Amazing.
yeah, he is. He's as the
I also will say that's a great point, Frank. I kind of learned to make movies via listening to directors' commentaries. Like I didn't go to film school, but I just you listen to like Tarantino do a commentary on this or Christopher Nolan do a commentary on that, and you kind of just learn the tips and the tricks on the language and how filmmakers think about things, talk
uh,
about things. Um, um, but really, it's just about agency, isn't it? I mean, what the world is right now asking us to subscribe to everything and own nothing. And I just reject that just holistically and spiritually. I'm someone who appreciates owning a thing and putting it in my house and having my friends come over and I get to say, look how cool I am. Look at all my cool stuff. Like, this is my
Yes.
stuff. And it is a reflection of who I am. And yes, you can borrow my 4K Blu-ray Dustin Hoffman if you want, but I'm going to ask for it back in 3.5 days. Uh, um,
Do
because of
you
how much this stuff matters to me.
do you plan on releasing your films on disc on Blu-ray and 4K?
I mean, yeah, that'd be a total dream. So Navalny never got a Blu-ray release in America, but for some reason it did in Japan, which
Hmm.
was like so fucking sick, so cool to me. And so the Japanese distributor sent me 5 copies of Japanese Navalny on Blu-ray, which I
Was
treasure.
it dubbed?
I, yeah, yeah. Which I was like, this is amazing. Um, and then yeah, but of course, I want everything released on physical media on Blu-ray. It's like I want something that I can put in a time capsule, not something like I just don't know where I'm going to find my movies in 30 years or 40 years. You
yeah.
know,
Well,
I don't.
we had a situation with I think Bill Condon, who directed the
Yeah.
remake of Kiss of the Spider Woman. He wanted it out on disc because he's a one of the old school great directors who wants all their films to be available via physical media. So we did a side deal, and we're putting it out for him. So if you're ever looking to get some of your films out, we could talk to the company that owns it and see if there's a way we could put out some of
Well,
his titles out on Blu-ray. So
that's amazing. Well, I want to put Tuner out on Blu-ray, that's for sure. But
yeah,
then the other thing I was going to say is like, I want to also acknowledge this is a challenging discussion. It's something that I'm very thoughtful of and that I care very deeply about because I'm sitting here telling you how much I love physical media and how much it matters to me. I'm right now in prep for a movie that I'm doing for Netflix. And
purple.
I don't frame it as like, oh, look, I'm in bed with the bad guys or something like that. The way I think about this is like, look, the world exists in multitudes. Technology is changing. People want to watch movies at home. They want to stream movies. That's fine. I think
Yeah.
that there's always a home for a lot of people are going to have their eyeballs on this technology. I acknowledge that and I understand it. But for me personally, I really treasure and value going to the movies, owning movies, getting to hold movies in my hand and exchange it with my friends. I live very close to Vidiot's in Los Angeles.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
um, and, and like,
I'm going
I
there
love
like
going to the
tomorrow,
video store.
tonight. I'm going there tonight,
Oh,
actually.
great.
That's so crazy. Yeah, I'm in LA right now. Um,
Well,
uh,
it's a very, make sure you go to the video store.
oh, I definitely will. Definitely will. What were we talking about? I had a question and there's just like completely, um, something about, what were we just talking about? Owning I was gonna
Physical
say,
media.
totally agree that streaming and physical media do not have to be mutually exclusive. Kino Lorber, we have our own streaming service as well called Kino Film Collection. I think that good films just beget good films, and film lovers should be able to watch them in any form, any way they want. I think it's just a matter of does this streaming service really champion film and filmmakers? So that's our stance, at least at Kino Lorber. But speaking of Tuner, I would love to ask you about Tuner. This is your first narrative feature. You come from a world of documentaries. What made you want to shift into narrative film, and what was that transition like? I know that Dustin Hoffman gave you like a really high compliment. He said you knocked it out of the park in terms of like casting, working with the actors, and directing your first feature. So, like, did you learn from making documentaries, or was that just like your instinct?
Um, Let me think about that. Yeah, well, look, it's always been my dream to make a fiction film. I came to documentary through cinema. A lot of my colleagues in documentary come to documentary through journalism. I came to it through movies. And when I was 16 years old, my heroes were like Christopher Nolan and the Coen brothers and Tarantino and Spielberg and guys like that. And so, for me, this was always a dream. And after Navalny, and the opportunities that were afforded to me because of that movie and the success of it, I was really like, um, maybe I can make a fiction film. Maybe that's the next best step for me. And, getting Dustin in the movie was amazing. The cast was amazing. I was really scared to work with actors before I did the movie. I had never done it before, but everyone was really great. And it kind of demystified the process for me because you sort of feel like, actors is a scary thing and everyone's gone to drama school and, you have to learn how to talk to actors. What do you say and what not to say? And at the end of the day, it's kind of like, oh yeah, if you're just like thoughtful and really dialed in and paying attention and really listening and you really care, like that's kind of what an actor is looking for. And all the actors I got to work with on Tuner were just like very thoughtful, and caring and dialed in, and I really really valued that.
How did you gather this cast? Because everybody was so perfectly cast. Like, Leo is so good as that, like, specialist prodigy type, you know? But yeah, how did you find this cast?
I don't know how well you remember the gathering of the team montage from Mighty Ducks 2 when they're blowing the conch and roller skating around America to get all the players together. It was kind of like that. No, I just got very
Perfect.
lucky. I just got very lucky. That's all it is. I mean, casting a film is about luck, and it's so many factors that are out of your control. You could have an amazing script, and an actor could read it and be like, "Yeah, exterior night. Nah, I don't want to do that." And then you could have another actor read the same script and be like, "Oh my God, like you wrote a script about a piano tuner. Like my grandfather was a piano tuner, or my grandfather was a this, or some sort of personal connection to material that you would never have thought of, and you just kind of get lucky. And in the case of Dustin, when I sent him the script, unbeknownst to me, he was a piano player when he was a kid, and he loved playing piano, and he was very passionate about piano, and so he just loved the script and said yes, and that kind of got our the ball rolling. But it was an amazing experience to me working with such a legend.
Amazing. So tuner is about a piano tuner who has a special hearing condition that also gives him this rare gift for safe cracking. So it has kind of this like old school heist movie vibe. It's sort of like crackling with romance. There's comedy. There's like increased stakes and twists. Were you influenced by any heist movies or even like gentleman thief movies? Because that's also like a very popular trope.
I love a good gentleman thief movie. I'm really the movie I'm making now that I'm working on that I'm gonna be start shooting in one month is like the Gentleman Thief movie. So I I love those movies. I love films like Thief. I love films like you know, like David Mamet's Heist, Ocean's movies, Out of Sight. I love any time there's a story about a good guy who's in a pickle and has to do a bad thing because of it, and just sort of the moral stakes of that so often come with the crime genre. I love the sandbox of genre. I love the tropes of genre, and I liked trying to like take those tropes and sort of elevate them a little bit by this auditory thing and this musical thing and this classical conservatory thing that I put in the movie. But at the end of the day, yeah, I was just really excited to get a chance to make a movie. And I really am sort of a student of the heist genre. I think of films like Charade or To Catch a Thief, with the gentleman thief trope. Um, and yeah, I think Tuner is in that mode a little bit, um, with a sort of urban setting.
Hmm.
Um, but those are characters that I'm really drawn to, and I feel like the film I'm working on now is very much a continuation, let's say, of the work that I explored on Tuna.
Yeah, I
Awesome.
have. I'm a huge fan of the heist movies. I grew up loving them. So there's a bunch that the lesser known ones are really really great. There's one that I released a few years ago called Loophole. It's a British one with Martin Sheen and Albert Finney, Susanna York. Great cast. And it's a situation where a person, an architect gets laid off by his company. He has no job. He's about to lose his business and everything else. And the right type of people show up. They need like a bank robbed during the weekend and stuff like that. So I've always been a fan. What was that? How to Steal a Million, I think,
How
was
to
another
Steal a
one.
Million.
Yeah, there were some really good ones in the past. So been a big fan.
Rafifi had to steal a million, to catch a thief.
Top Cappy.
Yeah,
That was another Jules
Arsène
Gasson film.
Lupin.
yeah.
Yeah,
So let's
Arsène
put
Lupin.
together a list. We'll send
Yeah, we
we'll
we
we'll put
released a lot.
together a
We
list of
released
our
some
heist
Arsène Lupin
movies.
classics to French and American. So
Okay.
yeah,
Love it.
We also have Out of
I've been
Sight. We'll
great.
send that too.
Oh, I
and the
would
Pink
love
Panther
Out of
films
Sights.
too. Actually, they have a they have a heist theme to them. So
No, the Pink Panther films are amazing. The film I'm doing now is kind of like To Catch a Thief. It's like if you change France for the Amalfi Coast and Cary Grant for Matthew McConaughey and Grace Kelly for Zoe Saldana, that's the new
Oh wow.
movie, and it's sort of like the like big locationy, fun,
Yes.
romantic music,
Like a
like the
Thomas
kind of
Crown
movie that
affair.
it's like a Thomas Crown affair, but like if the guy was McConaughey, I guess
Oh
it's
nice.
like that sort of thing.
well, the
Um,
original Thomas Crown Affair was Steve McQueen. He was the king of cool. They changed it around when they did this remake with Pierce Brosnan, which is still a really good film, but
no,
it's
the original Thomas Crown Affair is such an interesting movie. There's so many creative choices in that movie.
yeah,
They're so weird and
crazy
interesting.
editing.
Like
Yeah,
the mosaicy, not even split screen, but like 7 or 8 screens, like like that thing going on, the sort of set piece at the end, and just the fun of it, the flirtation of it.
yeah.
There are some cool sequences in like the remake, uh, um, but the original Norman Jewison, Canadian legend. And I'm excited for Michael B. Jordan's. There's another one that Michael B. Jordan's
Oh,
starring in,
I didn't know that.
that he's like bringing it back, and I'm like, yeah, okay, that's cool. Let's see what that's gonna be like.
We interviewed Norman Jewison a few times. Yeah, he's one of those great, underrated
Yeah.
directors. He's not a what they used to call auteur, but he did so many great movies of different genres. You just go with In the Heat of the Night and Rollerball and Thomas Crown Affair, and
Didn't
well,
he did Moonstruck too, didn't he?
he did Moonstruck. He did Soldier Story. He did some great films. So
Yeah, no one like who can hold Fiddler on the Roof? Who can hold a candle to Norman Jewison? He's just fabulous.
yeah,
What an amazing filmography.
yeah.
Um, maybe being on auteur is a little overrated. Just
I think
make
it
great
is. Yeah, I
movies.
think it is. It's a
Well,
pretentious French people.
well, I really loved Tuner. I thought it was great. I actually really, really loved the ending. Like there are very, very few films where after the it ends and the closing credits roll where I'm just like, fuck, that was a perfect ending. And I'm not gonna give it away, but like that was, and sorry to swear, but that was it was really great.
It's
So and
really that means so much. It's really hard to land a plane. Like the last 10 minutes of a movie are really fucking hard. Like really, really hard. So the fact
mhm.
that that worked is kind of like one of the distinguished miracles of my life, and I owe it all to Leo Woodall, um, who worked really hard for it to be able to do that scene. We won't say what it is.
Mhm.
Uh, and yeah, that's all. That's all I'm gonna say.
I don't know if you
Well,
remember a movie in the '80s called FX, with Brian
No, I don't
Brown
know
and
that movie.
Brian Dennehy. That had a really great ending. It had a The movie's really good and everything, but that I remember that the ending, the whole theater left with a smile on their face, and that was
It's called FX, like special
yeah,
effects,
yeah,
or FX.
F/X, yeah. And then there was a sequel too. It was a big enough hit that they actually did a sequel, and it was the Australian actor Brian Brown with Brian Dennehy.
I'll have to check it out.
it's really good. We released that
That's
too,
great.
of course. So.
oh, if we have
Frank,
that,
I
we'll
want to
send
get
that to
your
you too.
top 10. Great. I want Frank's top 10. You're the
Top
real
10.
cinephile here.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
but yeah, so the heist movies, yeah, I've always been a fan. Just like espionage movies, heist movies, those subgenres. People don't visit them as often as they should. There's some really great ones there. So
Well, I really appreciate that. I the new one the one I'm doing now is sort of departs the heist genre a little bit and enters the subgenre of the heist crime film, which is the con man film.
Mhm.
And I'm
Love it.
really having a fun time with that because it's like you're not just it's less about, you know, getting past the security and planning the thing and making sure the cameras are off. And it's more about like, oh, we have to con this guy. We have
Right,
to
right.
create an illusion. We have to play characters. We have to learn lines. And we have to hope he's none the wiser and create such a big sort of like smoke and mirrors show that this person is none the wiser, so we can, thank you very much, take this object of desire that is sort of motivating the plot. Um, and I love that. Like I'm having a lot of fun in that world,
Are you
and so
planning like
That-
a heist trilogy or something like that, or?
you know what? It may be. I just love these movies so much. They're so fun to make. Um, but if I do another heist film, like it would have to be like a science fiction film or like, one of my favorite heist films of all time, which is Inception, which you don't often think of a heist film, but it
Right,
totally
right.
is.
totally is, yeah.
But figuring out a way to do it in with a genre twist or something like that.
Well, that'd be
Man,
so
that's a cool
fun.
idea.
Well, I'm really
You
looking
know, and
forward to
Chris,
the film you're working on now.
Thank you very much. I think I'm sure it'll be out next year. And it's a wonderful challenge, and it's very exciting and fun, and I'm exhausted but thrilled.
well,
Do
McConaughey
you
is a great
have,
actor, so I think that should be a lot of
yeah, the
fun.
cast that you listed is sounds amazing. That's really exciting. Should we ask some audience questions? We do have some great questions for both of you guys. Um, so maybe we can spend the rest of the time on those. Yeah, does that sound good?
Sounds good.
Sure,
So we have a question actually from a film historian. I don't know if you're familiar with Mark Edward Hoyk. I think I'm saying his name right.
Yes, yes.
This
He's
question
done.
is,
He's done some extras for us. I've known him for a long, long time.
oh, perfect.
He's gonna
Okay.
he's gonna do his. He's doing right now a commentary for a movie we haven't announced yet, kind of a secret project. So,
Ooh, exciting. Well,
mm.
he has a question for Daniel. He says, Tuner has one of the better trailers that I've seen for a new movie in a while. Were you involved in its design, and do you have any favorite trailers from your formative years of movie watching?
wow, great question. That trailer was designed. Black Bear, who's distributing the movie. Okay, these guys are the real deal. They're good. They care, really care. We went to 4 or 5 iterations of the trailer. you know, and they didn't rest until they got it right. And when I saw that trailer, I was just thrilled by it. I gave notes. I didn't cut the trailer. I'm not like the Stanley Kubrick guy who's, you know, type who's going to sit there and edit the trailers and make sure the font on the key art is dialed in and whatever, whatever. I'm sort of like, I make the movie. That's my passion. The marketing of the film is, it's like a totally different vocation and art form. And so I always give my input, but I try not to obsess over it. And I was on to my next movie anyway. But I saw that trailer and I just knew these guys were cooking with gas. Oh, great question. A piece of film marketing that stands out to me. Um, what's a great trailer? Um, I think of the trailer to Little, what is it? What's the Todd Fields film called? Little Children? Is that what it's called? Um, um, Let
Oh,
me
the
Google
one with
this.
Kate Winslet and
Yeah, Little Children.
Patrick.
Little,
Yeah, I think
little,
Little Children.
yeah. I remember seeing the trailer for that film and be like, what is this? What is, and it's like overnight, the guy, the trailer voice guy who was like, in a world where this happens and then this happens. Like that guy was just out of a job overnight because they cut this trailer that was just like a little visual poem that just transformed film marketing forever. So that's one that comes
Interesting.
to
Well, that
mind.
guy used to do a lot of
Interesting.
Miramax trailers, so so in a world,
In
things,
a world. If you're familiar with the film Suicide Club, a Japanese horror film, that has one of the creepiest, most like visceral trailers. It's more of a teaser. Look it up on YouTube, the Suicide Club trailer teaser. It's not even a scene from the film, but it's just it will stay under your skin. It will stay with you for the rest of your life. You're welcome. Um, so this is actually kind of a similar
Oh,
question.
that's weird. Ooh, I'm watching it
It's
now.
it's
Ooh.
fucking intense.
Yeah, you couldn't do this in America.
Nope. They do show flashes of the clips from the movie, but the overall, like, conceit of the teaser is not even in the movie, I don't think. It's really creepy.
yeah.
But this is a similar question actually from Ted W. He says, "Hi, Alicia, Frank, and Daniel. What are some of your favorite movie posters? The Silence of the Lambs, Fright Night, and Body Double are iconic for me and never fail to grab my attention. I love opening my mail to find a release with original artwork."
Oh boy, all the Saul Bass posters.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, yeah.
um, I have hanging up next to my bed the original. So this is the British wide, like the lobby size British poster. So it's horizontal aspect ratio of the Jungle Book, which I just love. Um, oh God, great posters. All the Italian films from the 60s and 70s, a lot of great Fellini posters. The Armor Cord poster, this big yellow backdrop with the woman in the town with the ginormous breasts, who's like center of the poster. Very iconic image. Um, I love, boy, what else? The Matrix poster, sick. A lot of great posters. I could go on and on.
I think for me it would be Jaws, just because of the fear that that induces. Um, I thought this was a Saul Bass poster, but it's actually, I guess, a designer named Maria Bergeron. She did a poster for The Godfather of just like the horse on its hind legs with the head cut off. That is really rad. Really, really rad. It looks like Frank is not connected anymore. I don't know what happened.
Frank checked out. Frank has had enough of
Frank,
us. Frank's
Frank is
gone.
like,
Frank's like, you know
uh,
what's on physical media? This conversation. I'm out. He's like, call me on the phone. Call me on a landline. Frank's like,
see, this
enough
is
of this.
the problems of
Frank,
streaming.
Frank's like, write me a letter, okay?
Oh, now he's like gone completely. Well, I still have a couple questions left for you if you don't mind sticking around.
Okay,
He might join
okay.
again. Um, Nick is asking, what are some of your favorite Canadian films you own on physical media? And what's it like being a physical media collector in Canada? Is there a whole different set of labels and vendors you use?
No, I buy shit on eBay mostly. And we have that in Canada. It's just more expensive because you have to shipping's always more expensive, which is annoying. Um, my favorite Canadian films that I have on Blu-ray, God, The Sweet Hereafter, Adam McGoyan, The Gray Fox, um,
Oh,
um,
we released that one, I believe. Yeah.
great film. Um, Eastern Promises, David Cronenberg,
Yes.
um, uh, and then Slapshot, a Canadian movie. No, I don't know if it is. It
I'm not
feels very
sure.
Canadian.
It does.
Um, um, those are my picks.
Nice. Let's see. Adrian asks, I love the workspace that you built for yourself, which is featured in the AI doc. Congrats on that doc, by the way. Have you built yourself a similar structure for your physical media collection?
Great question. Not yet. I'm working on it. I have 5 shelves that I'm allowed in the house to for my Criterions and Blu-rays and Kino Lobers. Um, um, uh, but no, when I if I mean I just grew up in an economy where I have a tiny house. I don't get to have a big house with a screening room like Dustin Hoffman. But maybe one day I will, and then I'll have like, in my head I have it. Just hasn't been actualized yet.
That workspace is very impressive, by the way. And actually,
Thank you.
I did
It's one of my favorite places on earth.
it's gorgeous. I'm curious, does your affinity for physical media and like the more tactile things that you mentioned earlier, like sketching, drawing, the tangible things, has that actually shaped or informed how you feel about AI in any way?
Well, uh, yeah, I mean, AI is just a technology that sort of devalues everything. And so it forces us to all consider what we value, right? Um, um, and so in that regard, it certainly does. But AI is such a big thing, such a big God. It's like the discovery of fire or something. That there's nothing it doesn't touch or impact in my life.
Well, thank you for making that documentary. I also just had a kid. She just turned 1, so I
Mazel
had the
tov.
similar questions that you've had that really were the impetus of making that documentary. So, thank you.
You're
Well,
welcome. Do you want to see my drawing of Kino Lorber Frank? You made it in
yeah.
here,
Oh my gosh, that's so good. That's
Frank.
really,
I'm
really
gonna maybe I'll
good.
send it to him. I'll send it to him in the mail. He'll get some physical media from me,
We can do a little
in the form of this.
exchange. We'll make sure to send you a package of discs, of Kino Lorber discs. Thank you so much for coming on the
Great.
show. I just have to do my little outro. It'll take a minute, and we'll make sure to plug Tuner as well. So thank you all for watching. Thank you to those who submitted your awesome questions. Thank you, Daniel, for joining us today and chatting with us about physical media and your new film, Tuner. Thank you, Frank, as always, for everything you do to keep physical media alive. You can find some of the titles we discussed today, along with thousands of others, at kinolober.com. The description is below. While you're there, sign up for our newsletter if you haven't already. Follow us on social, and be sure to check out Tuner in theaters May 22nd. Thank you so much, everyone. We'll see you next month.